The following is an excerpt from the book Experiences of Thought by Anthony Kong, available now on Amazon.com and Kindle. Outside the box, the Great Genome. Throughout this chapter, and particularly in the last section and section 5.8, we have formulated our model of the universe and the entirety of existence as a network of minds, each being both consciousness and information, two forms of the same fundamental substance. But if this is the case, then why does information take the form that it does? The apple on the table is a product of mind and a part of mind. But how does the mind come preloaded with the capacity to imagine an apple? Where do all the forms of nature come from? When we look around us at the complexities of the artificial world, the technological wonders and complex infrastructure that humans have built for themselves, we know that it is a snapshot of a work in progress. As we discussed in section 4.2, our artificial creations have been built within the context of their environment and have evolved to incorporate new technologies as more and more discoveries have compounded together to make them possible. Just as the genome of an organism has the potential to evolve with time to exhibit greater complexity in response to its environment, so too does the blueprint of human technology, providing us with a greater arsenal of creative tools and an enhanced capacity to innovate. So if our human ancestors started out with sticks and stones, and yet we today have everything from Bluetooth-enabled phones to 3D printers, then it is clear that little by little, the small discoveries of mere individuals are pooling together to grant us some amazing creative abilities as a collective society. If all that exists is actually the contents of a network of minds, each one evolving and growing as it shares in the contents of other minds, then could the same logical phenomenon that has given us our technologized world be at work to give us the basic building blocks of thought and creativity? Could each mind exist in its ultimate infancy as a mere bit of individual creative capacity, a single exemplar of information, a single strand of the universe's DNA that is powerless to conceive of even the most basic mental image or undergo the most imperceptible experience? And yet, as each primordial mind encounters more and more of its kin, it would inevitably imbibe the contents of each mind and grow in its capacity to create and to experience. Little by little, it would come by the tools it needed to create basic ideas and imagine new configurations of the basic building blocks of thought, learnt from other minds. Eventually, the individual disconnected strands would grow into proper genomes in their own right, taking copies of each other and making themselves larger and more complex in the process. But it is a non-destructive process, with each cell retaining its full blueprint of information and likewise growing monotonically and uninhibited. Thus, in the end, every primordial mind would grow to become a complete copy of the entire genome of the universe, with virtually limitless capacity to create and experience. Shapes, smells, sounds of all kinds would become part of the library of assets that any mind can draw upon to enrich its corner of the multiverse of experience and share with neighboring minds. The genome of the universe would thus be the genome of the minds of which it is comprised, and equate to the backbone of logic from which all that exists takes its form.